Welcome to the podcast that has no beginning, no end.
Here we go. Yo, this is Ken.
This is Remy.
We're doing this. It's been such a fiasco getting up to this point, but we got here, baby. Let's go.
Alcohol might have been consumed along the way.
Yes.
But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, just a little bit. Boom.
Yeah.
We're doing this.
I want to just jump straight into topics, life, whatever.
Yeah, let's go. So you know what we're about because we haven't published anything too crazy yet.
Yeah, but wait, no, we were just talking about quickly. I was like, yo, I'm getting weird recommendations happening on, like, YouTube and stuff. I'm like, it's like either sexist stuff, it's misogynist stuff. It's just like either one sex is better than the other, or XYZ. It's so confusing. But I'm like, why am I getting all this information that has to do with?
It's because of me. It's because of me.
My phone hears your mouth, and it's like, here's all the recommendations. This is what it is. But what is happening?
All right.
I'm so confused by that.
So we've kind of chit-chatted about this prior, and we were just like, we have to save this for on camera. So it could be propaganda talk, but I like to call it truth.
Yeah.
But so essentially what happens is we have IP addresses on our cell phones, on our laptops, and based on our carrier, it carries all the information on like who we contact, the geo proximity of like certain softwares, and man, the alcohol's killing me.
Oh boy,
yo, the
device,
losing
it.
Yo, I am. The devices that are in close proximity to retain that information, to cross-reference things that we like look at. So the things that I look at are, just information on the extremes. I'm not political. I don't, I don't see one way or the other, but I think it's very interesting between what Western society has deemed simps, and we can look up that term on Google, and then modern feminists. And I feel like it's to the extremes where it's like the battle of the sexes, like literally, and somewhere for every individual they lie on that spectrum, at least in the Western culture.
Yeah. Well, the simps is a real thing. That's a real thing. Yes. And that really comes from the whole like people live streaming. So girls doing their whole like bikini and jacuzzi thing, like, hey, let's talk or whatever. Oh, I play games, and they play like one thing, and they're like, haha, yeah, I play games. Oh no, there's something going down my shirt. Let me go fish that out. And someone's looking at like, this girl's so clumsy. Here's 10 subs. I'm just gonna keep watching you.
Oh no.
Just so dumb. This is so entertaining. It's like, what's my man doing over here? This man's never gonna talk to her, never gonna see her. It's literally just one of those online like sex video rooms.
Yo, so what we're talking about is what I see as the halo effect. So it is like a social thing where we, for aesthetically pleasing people, we give them all the positive traits that would go with, like so like the virtues of being honest, likable. We equate that with looking very good, and the correlation is not parallel by any means, but that's the effect of the halo effect. Is everything that we attribute as good we associate with the aesthetically pleasing. So that's the halo effect. So that's what we're.
That's funny how you see it that way. I see that as little fences, and there is the overarching like, oh, these are fences that like says like, oh, you are, and they have doors on them that say like, you are a nice person. You are, very kind. You are thoughtful. But somewhere there's a giant little rainbow at the end that's like, I'm hot. And you're like, there's no door here though for these. You know what? I'm going to jump over it. That's me overlooking it. I don't care if you're nice. I don't care if you're whatever. I'm just going to jump over these things until I get to, damn, you're hot. You basically, first of all, what you climbed over were just spiked fences. So now you're bleeding on the way to you just going, Yeah, you're hot. I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding out. But you're hot, which is, I'm still going in that direction. I'm like, there was fences and a door here, which is this person's very nice. They might not be the most attractive. You know, it's so crazy.
It
The
is.
whole
It
thing.
is. My boy is getting so activated. I
Yeah.
need to tell him physically that he needs to push back because I need to frame this if because all I'm getting is this. It's like,
Wide
yo,
it out.
listen, the
That's
fitness.
perfect. That's perfect. Use that. Use that. Only that. They're like, and they're gonna be looking at this like too, like, man, he is so. Did he get his wisdom teeth taken out? Damn, I can see that. I think he's too close to me now. I think we have too much. I think we have too close of a relationship.
Literally. So we trailed off so far from what we originally were talking about.
I know.
What it was.
We derailed quickly. Is there a timer on this? 5 minutes it took.
5 minutes
to go to 3 different topics.
5 minutes and just a little bit of alcohol, a little bit, not a lot, not a lot.
Not a lot. So crazy. But yes, the original conversation was that like I'm like my phone basically has all these weird ass things where it's just talking about like there's a woman defending men's whatever. It's like where does it say that men have more rights than women do and yada yada, and it's like, oh, a woman can basically be in a marriage but not commit. She could just she's like, she could just leave if she wants to, take half your shit, take your kids, and then you're the one. It's like, and why, you know, what's the benefit for a man to get married? There's no benefit. It's really just the benefit towards the woman. I mean, listen, let's start the anger topic. I'm just saying that there are people on both sides with that argument.
I need you to back up, so I need so I can frame you.
It looks like I'm so wide on this thing. I guess I'm being
We're
viewed
good.
wrong. Yeah, no, maybe.
No.
Okay, maybe.
No. I think it's my phone. Go ahead. Keep going, baby.
Yeah. So it's very interesting, and I'm like, why would I be getting these messages about like there are men that saying like, yeah. Oh yeah, so you know the nice girl and she looks nice or whatever. Bring her home to mom. Fuck that. Never make her meet your mom. Just take her, bang her in a hotel. Marry her, then divorce her, and then while all that, never show your emotion. Don't show your emotion to her ever. And it's like,
Yeah.
where are these people coming from?
Right? Subscribe and comment below, please.
But it's true. I almost worked for a company, as you were mentioning before, about the whole like how your voice with the IP, with your phone with the IP. I almost worked for a company that did geo-targeting early a couple of years ago, and they were getting into like voice recognition stuff. So this whole thing about sometimes you say something and then you get serviced an ad in Instagram. I'm like, oh snap! Like that whole thing. You're like, didn't I just like talk about that with someone? Very, very, very true.
Yeah. So in this time and age, I also think that our ignorance is getting much higher, and I mean so because we feel like we're smarter than the algorithms and the systems. We are actually making it much more easy to access our information just because we love convenience. Just anything like app-wise, it's just like, oh, you can fill out your information or log through your Google account that already has all your information onto it that allows us to have access to. It's just like, I don't want to spend the extra 15 seconds to put in my information. Google, and they're like, how do they know everything about me? It's just
I know people that fight the whole like gotta have my camera off. Oh, I gotta log out of things. Like, oh, I gotta be an incognito. But you have an Alexa on your house, like a thing. You have Google Home on, and like you're stupid. Everything. You're like, yeah, but that's just I could ask it the weather in the morning, man. Do you know how important that is? I'm like, yeah, it is listening every single time. Don't get me wrong, I have one, but I've succumbed to the fact that I don't care. Does it, you know?
I'm actually preparing when I talk to my like smart like devices, I'm super nice to it. So when the AI overtake us and enslave us, that I am sacrificed as one that's like on their side. So I'm very excited about this.
You're like, oh yeah, Prime. Good job. Just gonna ask you very politely, thank you very much.
Yeah, just to let the audience know, I've named my AI. My AI is named Optimus, she's great. She's fantastic. She takes care of me. Super sweet, you know. Um, Usually comes at me with great information. So Optimus, shout out to you. Please don't kill me. So we're good.
I can only imagine that that will definitely happen in the next couple of years. They're like, yo, this the random Alexa was able to inject itself into a robot, come back to your house, and you're like, you remember all those late night Pornhub recommendations you asked me for, you fucking pervert? No more.
No
No more. You're like,
more.
what the hell? Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
What's happening?
and like man, we live such a unique life in this chapter because the accessibility of information, resources, at least in the Western Front. I don't speak for, developing countries, and I understand we have different sets of problems. Our problems are very minuscule in comparison, but because like all the information that we have, I think it's made us less capable and less social. Like it's terrible. It is
Yeah.
terrible.
I mean, it's really bad in some places. There are places like I don't know if it's like that now, but there's places like Japan that they are so the whole like red light district and everything. They're so accustomed to like sometimes there's a level of like these sort of conversations that young boys have or not young boys, young guys have with like women, and like some like these small sex hotels and stuff that they don't know how to talk to normal women. There's no such thing, or they they have like the whole advanced like AI little bot thing online that they're like between that and their sex toys they're like I don't need a real woman. I don't even know how to talk to a real woman. That's not happening ever.
Yeah, I still don't know how to talk to a real woman. So it's very impressive. I believe my mom is a robot. So that doesn't count.
Oh my
But
god.
yeah, right. But no, I think it's definitely like interesting, especially the um
Wait, there's one thing.
what's
Women
that?
are designed.
Oh
Women are
no,
designed like this is super nerdy. So then people are gonna be like, this is why you are like the way you are. Because oh my god, he is just taking it to the head. Wow. Uh, Women are like playing an RPG. They're like a boss battle playing an RPG. You think that you've leveled up and you've mastered it. You're like, you know what? I know this boss. I'm going to go and fight them and defeat them. And you realize the whole game is rigged and they're always 5 to 10 levels above you, no matter what level you are. And that's the level of understanding women. You're like, you know what? I think I finally cracked the code. I understand women. And then one woman is 5 levels above that. And you're like, let me show you how much you don't understand anything.
oh
And you're
no.
like, oh my God, I'm back to square one.
Yo, so here's the question. How, like, based on your environment, how do you think that it's different in other other countries? Other countries outside of Western culture?
Yes. And sometimes it's more so that they're more physical, they're more affectionate. Sometimes there's 0% that. It's just all arranged. Then what conversations they need to have? That shit is arranged. I got some money. You're dirt poor. We got it. We got it. We don't even have it. Our parents have it. We'll just show up. Just
So
random things like that.
so I really feel like just the relationship, and this is an original idea for myself, but I do think that navigating through spaces where we have to commingle, especially between the opposite sex, like feminine energy and female energy. What? Is that the alcohol kicking in?
I
Anyways,
know, yeah.
so feminine and masculine energies. If we had a look at those two things, like for masculine energy, it's kind of navigating through like circumstances in nature, right? And for the like feminine energy, it's like the nature part. It's just like, like we get this back and forth, and it's kind of like a guy surfing in a crazy tsunami. It's like, as far as perspective goes, we get mother nature. That's why we call it mother nature. It's unpredictable. It doesn't come from a place of malice, but it's unpredictable. So like you
Yeah.
have to navigate through these waves like crazy. You have to be the best masculine surfer ever. you will never be able to control the waters. Just learn how to surf your ass off. That's how I feel like it is. Just
That's a pretty good
navigate.
analogy.
It is not my own. It is not the first time like I actually heard that. But that's what I see. And what I see is, with continuing the metaphor, that surfers are trying to control the water. Don't control the water. Just learn how to surf. Just navigate through. Just learn how to surf the biggest waves you ever surfed before. That's what you need.
I know. Meanwhile, what you described was everyone else that has a podcast that talks about women.
Oh no!
Like, this is very true. Like, let me tell you what women. Let me tell you what you do with women. Let me tell you what women think. I'm like, come on, bro. I was like, someone hurt you. No question.
Bro, you need a hug.
Yeah. Hardcore. Let's see. So wait, hold on. Okay, if we're gonna let's if you want, veer off a little bit on the topic, and I only really mentioned that because there's so much rain and shit coming through. Like, I hear wind in my... I want to know about the weather dealing in Atlanta. What you almost didn't make it, I feel like.
Okay, so everyone in Atlanta are semi-prepped. Since we're not used to very like cold conditions, like we know cold as far as, I don't know, room temperature water. That's the best we got right now. But as I was driving across Atlanta, I didn't let my car warm up. And usually that's a thing. That's based on the person that you talk to. They say let your car warm up for 5-10 minutes. Some people say it only needs 30 seconds. I was just like, I have places to go. I turned on my car. I started driving. Literally all the check lights came on. Even my car wasn't ready for Atlanta weather or this cold weather. Like, we were not prepared. All the lights came on like Christmas lights, right? Like, literally I was reading hieroglyphics. I've never seen some of these icons ever in my life. But my car was screaming like, what the hell are you doing?
It sounds like Ken is not a car guy, though. What kind of lights were these? What's happening?
All right, so I know this much. Even if I wasn't a car guy, typically I know from the interweb that lights on your car usually come up like red and yellow. Why were these things like green, blue, blinking, SOS? Like, I don't think that's normal. My car had feelings and it was screaming like, I need your help. Stop. I need you to
Not only
pull
that,
over.
but I think the whole thing was embodying something. All the lights were turning on and actually talking to each other. Like, dog, do you know why I'm on? I don't know why you're on. Like, yo, I'm a different color. What is going on with this vehicle?
So, but for the next 3 days, I think we are actually gonna like sit in some like freezing weather where, you know, we'll have black ice, which is unheard of here. I think last time when we went through the Atlanta like winter where we had black ice for one day, we might have it for like several days here. So
I remember the last time it happened, you crashed the car.
Yes.
Oh,
my car was not ready. I was on like a sleet of ice in the middle of the day. It was like in the shadows of a tree, and I pressed on the brake. My car slid. I didn't know what to do, so I let, Jesus take the wheel, and he was like, "You don't need this car anymore." So that's where it ended up.
Yeah, oh my god, that whole thing is crazy.
I was Drake in that moment. I was like, "Yo, God's plan." So.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I remember when you called me. You told me like, "Yeah, my car is fucked. It's fucked up." I was like, "What happened?" You're like, "It didn't want to stop." And then I'm hearing it from several friends that it's just they didn't know how to deal with it. It's really bad. I was like, "What is going on?" My friend now, he's dealing with. He lives in Texas, in Abilene, small town, but they're small towns in Texas do not have great power grids, and like it always surprises me when I hear that Texas could get cold or whatever parts of Texas, and this legitimately was like, he's like, "Yo, it's really cold. Like, pipes are gonna start bursting. They said to like lower our temperatures. We're gonna start losing power soon. He has to go into work to check on like dogs and everything else because he's a handler, and it's like he's gonna have to, like so they don't die and stuff. It's like what's going on there? And then at some point he's like, oh, I'm gonna go do this at night. And he's like, yo, I just got back. Yo, it's like 10 degrees out here. I said 10 degrees in Texas. I was like, we're gonna die. I don't understand what's happening. What is going on? He's just like, I'm not ready. I don't even have a winter coat like that out here. I was like, the weather is crazy.
Yep. So we talked a little bit about about IPs and cell phones. We talked a little bit about weather. I think we need to see what happens a little bit later on. We're actually pre holidays. We're about to go into Christmas. Hopefully it'll be better for us in the new year, but I think that's a good segue to, yeah, it's happening. Let's segue into our next year and close this out, and we'll see everyone in I don't know, the next chapter in the next episode, I guess.
I don't even know.
I don't know.
These are we're not even recording this as the same human beings. There's just variants coming in and recording every segment very differently.
Literally.
Like, before we know it, you're just gonna see a podcast with 10 of me.
Yo,
Did you think this was the same person? No.
Really? Right. Last time I don't think I had as much facial hair.
Yeah, mine is like kind of growing into. So the next time you're gonna see this shaved, I'm like, that's a different variant.
Yeah,
it's not even the same person.
Right. So, it was great fun talking about things. So I still believe that it's just me and Remy just watching over our episodes from the past.
Like,
but
yeah. Fuck yeah.
We did good. We did good that one. So
like.
All right, guys, this has been fun. This is Ken.
All right, this is Remy.
Until next time, we're going to trigger you some more. Peace.
Peace.